Welcome to Launch Code, a premier business podcast. Starring Evan Hafer, Matt Best, and Jared Taylor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Launch Code Podcast.
Whoa.
Live from Jacksonville, Florida.
I get to co-host with you on this.
I know. I am joined on my left flank with Ross Patterson.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir.
For this Launch Code.
Bless
and, you know, today we are sitting on the tour bus of Asking Alexandria.
We are.
The band. And we're with their full-time filmographer, photographer.
Yes.
Videographer.
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 Wait, filmographer didn't cover videographer?
I think it's cinematographer.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, that one. It's classic.
Is that what you
A
prefer?
man that is
don't prefer
visually,
anything.
stimulus.
Yes.
You know, he
Stimuli.
Makes stimuli. He makes things look amazing. He has done photography work for Article 15 Clothing. He's done photography work for fucking everybody.
Yeah.
In the band circuit.
Quite a few bands.
Quite a few bands.
Mr. Sanjay.
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 Parikh.
Sanjay, what's your full name?
Sanjay Parikh.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
All
pretty
right.
Indian.
All right. Look, I knew
Very Indian.
a Parikh.
Very,
I
very
knew a
Indian.
Did
Parikh.
you?
I did in elementary school. Parikh Patul, I think was his name.
Could have been my brother.
I could have made
His
that
first
up
name's
as
his
well.
last name. They obviously are related.
Could have made this up as well. Are you a veteran?
Yeah, no.
No, you're
No,
not.
no,
You're not.
But
no.
you are a guy that has his own company, does his own thing, employee of one.
Employee of one. Yes.
How hard is that?
It's difficult.
It is, right?
It's very difficult. I shoot photos. I shoot video. I ship photos. Like, it's all under SP Media,
Sure.
and it's a nightmare. But I love it. I absolutely fucking love it.
Well, because a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into it. You're constantly dumping footage. You're on the road. How many days out of the year would you say?
Recently, like coming up, I think it's 6 months out of the year.
6
And
months.
It
Yeah,
used to
so
be a couple
always
months
shoddy
here.
internet, always shoddy places to work.
Yeah.
You don't
100%.
have a desk.
So it's like when I
It's-
go home, I have off time. I'm with my fiance, but I'm not with her because I'm always working. Always.
How does she feel about that?
Yes and no.
There's no way she's stoked.
Is she
No,
Indian?
she's super white.
Oh man, if
she's
she
almost
was Indian,
like
she'd definitely be
she's
Yeah,
she's like
understand.
see through.
yeah.
She's a little blonde bombshell.
She's so white she's see through.
Yes.
I like that a lot. Where did you guys meet?
We actually met from my old band. We were in a music video together, and I had to kiss her in the video, and I kissed her, and I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
That
you
was-
got
that was
hooked.
good.
You got locked in.
I got to see more.
You got
And-
locked in.
Yeah.
What was the name of your old band?
Some Call Us Heroes.
Okay.
And then I played in a band called Family Ruin. I filled in for guitar, which actually was on Benjamin Bruce's label.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you play?
I played guitar.
You did.
On one
lead
tour with
guitar or
them.
bass?
Rhythm guitar.
Gotcha.
And I filled in and did a tour with Doyle and the Family Ruin.
All right.
And that's kind of how this whole thing happened with working with Asking, actually. Because I met Ben through that. We weren't super close at the time. And then we just started hanging out through a mutual friend. And next thing you know, hey, you guys don't have anybody doing your social media photos and videos.
Congratulations.
And
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I do that.
Was
And-
there any hesitation in switching from being in the band to taking videos of a band?
No, that's actually what I did whenever we would tour, like for Doyle. I would play the show, and then I would shoot the show. Like, I'd get down into the photo pit and start shooting photos of the other bands. Because
Got
it's
it.
always something that I'd love doing, and people were starting to notice, like, oh, shit, he was up there, but now he's actually working the show. And it just kind of stemmed
It's
from
also
that.
a way, though, to start sharing the traffic and the
Absolutely.
exposure with everything.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, if you're opening or you're headlining a show and you've got other bands there that you just did products for, you have a direct line of
Exactly.
communication.
And then they want
'Cause
you to
I've
come out and
Right.
I've seen the other side, like all those people for the first few songs of the Asking show, like they shoot for 2 songs and then jet hoping that these guys will buy one of the photos or license one of the photos. Was
Yeah.
like, little, they have their own.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think for the audience at home, explain how that works, because a lot of people don't get it. They think, oh, hey, it's a photo, and I can rip this and use it for anything, but there's like licensing involved, money, fees, all of that stuff.
Anybody that steals the photos, it's like, God damn it! Like,
do you
stop
see it?
doing it?
Are you
I
angry
see it
about it?
all the time.
Do you remember it was 2 years ago? There was a big deal going. Was it Bullet for My Valentine that went to war with a photographer?
I want to say it was not Bullet, but I'm not sure if it was them.
Do you know what I'm
I
talking
do
about?
know another band that caused a big stink.
When this guy went back and essentially attacked them on Photobug, and Photobug is a giant
it's huge
community of photographers, and he goes, "This is the response I got out of this band when they used his picture for advertising and all this other stuff, and when he asked for credit and payment of licensing or everything, they said, "Oh, we'll just ruin you."
Yeah.
That was their conversation.
Exactly.
We'll just say that you're a piece of shit, and
Yeah,
no one
'cause
will ever hire you.
Right
you
now,
you remember this now?
Vaguely. What I know is most bands, but I'm not speaking for every band, but most bands, when they're photographers, they get photo passes and come out
Right.
to the shows. They'll shoot the show, and then that photographer can use it as their portfolio or whatever. But the second they try and sell it, you get blacklisted.
gotcha.
And it's like your name goes around as a photographer, that it goes around to everybody, and you will not shoot shows anymore.
Really?
You won't.
Yeah,
That will literally kill your career.
The big one now is Alamy. And Alamy is trying to. They are not trying to. They are suing people for. I believe one of the Kardashians is getting sued for using one of their
Using
photos on
a photo?
Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
But how? What's your feeling on that? Because
I think
you're
that's stupid.
I do too, right?
That's
it's
a little
just
much.
Instagram.
It's Instagram, and there's days where it's like I'm always on Instagram. I'm always looking at new photos and pretty much liking every photo that comes up because I have a problem with my thumb that always likes everything.
Yeah.
And
I see that
photos.
problem with your thumb.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's dirty.
It's brown.
Dirty thumb.
It's
That's
just
what
brown.
it is.
It's
No,
just
it's
brown.
just Indian. Just Indian.
What I see on Instagram a lot is a lot of even my photos come up, and it's like kids will post them or other sites will post them. And it is what it is. Like, you can't stop that. Once you put out a photo into the internet world, it's gonna go out there instantly.
It's
and
gone, right?
Millions of people will see it if the band has a big following like these guys.
Yeah.
But it's like, for me personally, like, I work directly with these guys. We sell the photos, and we do cuts however we've decided to do the cut. So it really works out. Like, they give me the okay to sell them. I actually retain the rights, and we make money off of it. And it's perfect because it's like, it's the band I work for.
Right.
So there's no,
Okay.
you're going to be blacklisted. There's no stupid.
It wasn't
shit with
Bullet for My Valentine because I
Okay.
don't want to shoot them. It was Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Oh,
They
really?
were they were the ones.
Okay,
that
then I
went
didn't know that
head
at
to head
all.
with a photographer, and they actually pulled and lost, like, because their social media got burned down with photographers all over the world. Like, fuck you.
Really?
Because it was a dick move. Like,
I feel
they-
like they're. I mean, I can see it with a huge band, say Metallica or somebody like that has that massive status that can go, "Fuck you, we're gonna
no,
sue you." But
that's what's funny.
Red
It's-
Jumpsuit Apparatus, I mean, great band, but they weren't massive.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, if you're not a
Well,
Metallica,
that was
you're
a
not
huge
that
failure
famous.
on their part. Is
Yeah,
when
and
they
it probably
thought,
buried
Yeah.
them
when
even
they
more.
thought, hey, we'll fuck you over if you push this issue, and he just published that, and then their own fans turned against him, like, oh, you're too cool to fucking hook a dude up, and even though you used his shit,
Right.
Yeah,
like, and
that'll bury
I
you.
don't think he was asking for money. I think he was just asking for credit,
Oh.
and they hit him with that.
Wow.
And everybody flipped on them, and they came back like, "Oh, we're sorry." Like,
The absolute worst person to give credit for me is, he's gonna hate that I tell, but it's Ben Bruce. And his excuse every time, I always give these guys shit because it's like, hey, tag me on Instagram. And they're like, oh, you just want to grow your following. Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
Because
that gets me more
it
work.
gets
my
me
job,
work,
dude.
and it helps out.
Yeah, but here's
And
my
his
response
excuse is
to
he
that
forgets
to everybody
after-
that has that problem. it doesn't cost you money.
No.
Then why is it? It's free.
You tag me.
And
JT.
everything that you've ever
Everything.
done.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's free for me.
Exactly.
It doesn't.
And
it's
it
not,
helps-
We
it's not
tag each
taking-
other and everything.
Yeah, it's not
same.
taking anything away
No.
from anything on Instagram.
No.
So it's like, who gets one extra step? But you know who's fucking phenomenal at that is Pastrana. Like,
Oh, Travis.
every time he does anything
He'll
on
tag
Instagram,
everybody.
he's just like, all right, hey guys, tell me who am I? He's about to do a post.
Yeah.
He's like, who am I tagging? He's not like, I only have room for 6 slots.
Right.
That's
He
awesome.
doesn't care. You
Nah.
can be like, hey, my aunt, my mom.
And why should you?
tag-
Yeah, why should you?
Free.
I know.
It's free
Fucking
to
free.
post.
That's it.
It's free to. It doesn't take away from anything at all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, and in the end, why not build? And that's it.
It's
Like,
just helping out photographers. Like, that's every photographer, everyone that's my friend that shoots. They always say, like, oh, yeah, this band posted
if
up my
you-
stuff, but
if you
they didn't
doubled
tag me.
your Instagram following as a photographer, your price doubles,
Exactly.
Yeah.
The price doubles.
and people don't have
And-
a problem paying for it. At
Exactly.
That point. Like,
But for me personally, it's like, I don't even, yeah, money's great, and I would like a little more here and there by growing my Instagram, but just Instagram alone, I shoot photos, I shoot video. That's what Instagram is. So it's like the more people that you have, the more people get to see it, and your work gets out there. And as an artist, that's what you want. Like, you want people to see your work,
Sure.
and that's the coolest part. Oh my God!
There he is. There's Ben Bruce himself.
Whoa!
God.
I've had a terrible set. I'm in quite a bad mood. I look like this because I've just been shown. I've just
Yeah.
been told that, which also isn't true, I'm one of the greatest metal guitarists of all time, and now I have a front cover shoot.
Without me.
Celebrate that. Yes.
Congratulations.
Holy shit.
No, it's not though, is it? Because one, it's incorrect, and I look like this right now, so I have to shower, get ready, pretend to learn something about guitar so I can talk about it in this interview, and then shoot a cover shoot.
How can
Who's
we
shooting
help?
who's doing the shoot?
Ah, there it is. We got a photographer on.
I can't remember his name.
Oh.
What is it?
Jeremy Saffer?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Jeremy Staple. Can you pass me my bag?
Yes.
Let me ask you this. As a photographer, when they ask somebody else to shoot him, how do you feel about that?
All depends.
Is he
Yeah.
better than you? Is this photographer better than you?
I wouldn't say better.
Yes.
It's
You
a
know
different
what's
style.
funny?
He's
I'm
great.
him of photography. I
Who?
am.
Oh,
Is he?
no.
My photography page has more followers than yours, and it's your profession.
I know. How,
May as well- you know, next month I'll be on the front cover of Photography Magazine as the best photographer of all time.
Oh, I love
You
photography
can only
magazine.
hope.
Yeah.
You can only hope.
I will literally throw a camera at your face.
I still subscribe to Photography Magazine. I'm a big fan of their work.
Hey, I know why you do it. It's for those National Geographic titties.
I have to. I have to. That's the only way I can get off. And it's when
Really?
it's raining. Yeah, when it's raining.
Wow.
I have to get off in the rain, and then I used to have to use a magazine. But hey, look, we all have our downfalls.
I heard something about a bike seat earlier, and
Yeah, it was.
I don't think that needs to. We
No.
don't need the details on
Probably,
that
we
at all.
probably
At
don't
all.
need the details on that.
You know.
Let me ask you this: why Asking Alexandria? I'm sure you had a pick of bands, and like when you have to deal with somebody like this every day.
unfortunately,
Totally kidding. Totally kidding. But
it actually
no,
stemmed with him and I meeting for lunch, and we just kind of hit it off. Realized we were both dads.
Both gay in the closet.
really.
Yeah, but I honestly, on the other end, is your ability to turn things around in finished products is highly unmatched by other people.
Yes.
Like you were when you were on tour, it was a 1-day turnaround before that video was going out.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's a,
So like
it's a 1
day
day
after Salt
Yeah.
Lake happened,
Salt
boom,
Lake video's out.
up. Day after Denver goes down,
And
boom,
you,
videos up.
And you edit
Like-
yourself as
yeah,
well, right?
all
Yeah.
shoot and edit, all
That's
photos,
great.
all video, and it happened with Asking just because we became friends, and then it just kind of snowballed into, hey, you don't have anybody, and
Sure.
Ben
And
actually
are they
put
your
his
only
trust-
band?
are they what?
Are they your only band?
Yeah.
That's
Now it's
great.
like I'm strictly just with Asking.
Gotcha.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. These
Uh,
guys
no,
are
the
family to me.
style though is now becoming signature, and that's great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
You
that's what
want
I've been
that.
trying to do is something so different where I'll shoot on gimbals, I'll shoot handheld, and now I'm doing time lapses and really trying to just make.
I've heard it. I've heard it from every other band that we know. They're like, God, man, who's the Askings video guy? Because those guys are crushing it.
That's awesome. Like, I just try to make it interesting, and that's what I tell. I get people hitting me up now all the time. What's your style? What do you shoot on? What's this? And how do you do it? And it's really just, I tell them, make your shit interesting, and people will watch it. If you make your product interesting, everyone's going to flock to it. And that's what I've been trying to do, is just step out of the box, do a little different styles, different shoots, different
quick
lenses,
edits, fun,
and fast edits.
Fun, fast.
Just don't edit fast and make it look like shit and put out a shit product, because then people are going to go, wow, that guy fucking sucks.
Who is your personal favorite band?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Let's get deep real quick.
Alexandria?
Besides them.
I got Seven Dust.
Okay.
So we just watched them.
Right. So with Seven Dust, hypothetical, let's say they came to you after the show and they said, hey, we want to buy you out of Asking Alexandria.
I would have to honestly tell them, you're one of my favorite bands. I respect you guys. I would tour with you when I'm not on tour with Asking.
Okay.
And if I could go out for a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there, and do some work for them, as long as it doesn't take my time away from Asking, because these guys are family to me. It's like they really took me on. They gave me a shot. They love my work. We became friends, and it's like I wouldn't fuck them over like that. I really wouldn't. I would go out of my way to see if I could get an extended schedule of when we're going out.
Okay.
So that way I would love to work with Seven Dust. Hey, Seven Dust.
Yeah, you would.
Take me out.
Yeah, you would.
For a couple weeks when I'm not on tour with Asking, I would love to go out with you guys.
For the listeners at home, how did you get started in photography? Because we get that a lot. Jared is actually a really great photographer.
Yeah, you are.
Yes. But we get that a lot.
You compliment me all the time, but it's like, fuck, have you seen your own shit?
Yeah.
He taught me.
But
what?
But here's the question we get the most of, like, all right, great. Where did you start? Why? How? Because a lot of people at home love photography. They're super interested in photography. They don't know how to start. Do you go to college for it? What do you do?
I went to college for...
Where'd you go?
Scottsdale Community.
Ah.
Yes.
Big fan.
Oh, yeah.
Parties.
Artichokes.
Party.
Artichokes.
Party town.
And I went there for music business.
Okay.
Nothing to do with photography. And it just kind of fell into place after, I've always had a love for the art. I've always been in the art world, and it just kind of happened where I started picking up a camera, and I'd do photo shoots of friends, or I'd do photo shoots of bugs with the macro lens, and it just kind of snowballed into, let me try and shoot my friend's band and get some photos for them. And then I did it, and I was like, fuck, that was fun. Like, these photos
Who was it? Who was your first band?
Oh, God.
That you took photos of?
Now you're really making me think. This was like...
if it's your friend, you would know.
No.
You would know.
Signs of Betrayal.
There it is.
Signs of Betrayal.
There it is.
I believe.
What year was that?
A long time ago. And that was like iPhone shots.
What are we talking about? Early 2000s?
2007.
Okay.
2008.
All right.
Maybe. And it was like I took shots on an iPhone, the first iPhone 3 or something. And I was like, cool, these are awesome, because I didn't have a camera. And then it just kind of rolled into local bands, and I'd shoot local bands, and then went into more mainstream bands. Like, I remember shooting Memphis May Fire, and then Escape the Fate, and Korn. And then it's like all these bigger bands started accepting my photo requests to shoot them. And it's like it just snowballed into, I can shoot a lot of awesome bands because I can turn around product fast and get them shit that they post. And that's the key. It's like, you can be a photographer and you start it, and it's like, oh yeah, I have a camera and I point and click, and they're not gonna post it. You're not gonna do anything with it because it's not good.
Right.
It's like you have to turn out quality product. And I never boast about my own stuff, but from what everyone has told me, I do good shit.
Okay.
They're like, my work's good, so I started recognizing that, and people started posting it.
Let me ask you this. When did you buy your first expensive camera where you're like, hey, this is going to be a profession, and I'm no longer shooting on iPhones anymore?
Like 4 years ago.
4? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No shit. And what was it, and what was the lens package
2018,
like?
5 years ago. 2018. So 5 years ago, I got, it wasn't even an expensive one. It was a Rebel T3i.
I know the Rebel T3i.
They were
I still have
fire
one
that year.
Yeah.
I still have one in my house. Do you?
So I got that, and just started shooting local bands with that.
Gotcha.
And then, honestly, I had no video experience. I've only been doing video for, I would say, 3 years.
Did you teach yourself how to edit?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah. It was countless nights on the College of YouTube.
Yeah.
And sitting
College
there
of YouTube.
Yeah.
going...
Video Copilot.
Yep. 100%. Video Copilot.
Film
Rampant. Video Hive.
Film Riot.
I haven't heard of that one.
Was that your jam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Film Riot?
No.
Well, you have 200 videos to go back and watch.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I want to ask you both about this. A lot of people go to YouTube as their tutorials, as their guides now. How strange is that? Do you ever go back and thank these guys of like, hey man,
Oh, yeah.
fucking use
Oh, yeah.
this shit?
I'll leave comments all the time like, this was exactly what I needed. Thank you.
That's great.
And they
there's
never
good and
reply
bad.
back.
Like,
Ever.
There's good teachers. There's bad teachers. Like, you got to sift through different, I sift through, like, I will know exactly what I want to learn to do, and then if their audio's garbage, I'll fucking nuke
Exactly.
it. Next one.
Right.
If they don't have
know
high
how to
quality
speak,
videos,
like next one. But like websites like it starts with an L. What is it called?
Lavender.
No. The one that's all
Leaky Lee.
lessons. Linda.
I guess.
.com. Like, I pay for their highest membership. It's like $600 a year. But all their tutorials are from experts in the industry.
Gotcha.
So if you're learning sound syncing or sound mixing when it comes to sound effects or whatever, you're learning it from the top
professionals.
guy in the industry with the best equipment. Like, so all their, and you can download their projects, so you follow along their entire lesson with the same files they're using. So that Linda's
Linda's good.
fucking amazing.
And for the audience at home who's thinking about getting into this profession, you don't have to give us a number. Does it pay decently? Like, is it enough to pay the bills?
Yeah, it's enough to. I mean, for me, I tour, so on tour I get a certain amount,
right?
And it's enough to take care of a family, and then I come home, and then when I'm off tour, I have people hit me up to do photo shoots, so it's like I'm always doing work. And then I live in Scottsdale, Arizona, and there's 98 KUPD out in Phoenix. I do all their video work. So it's like I've been contracted by them. Some of my closest friends work there. And I just shot the U-Fest for Five Fingers, Seven Dust, and did all that. And it's like I make money that way, too, when I'm home. So even though I'm off tour, I'm still working.
Okay.
But it's fun. So
Favorite band of all time?
Justin Bieber.
Fuck off. It would be amazing if it was.
I do love Bieber.
I thought he said
Really?
Seven Dust. You said favorite.
No.
I do. It would probably be Seven Dust is top 3. I'm trying to think. You're putting me on the spot.
But of all time. So, and the reason why I ask this question, because people ask me all the time, I say Rolling Stones. So I would assume, because this is your world and your industry, Rolling Stones probably have how many fucking videographers with them at all times?
Probably 2.
And do you? Okay, so then the next question: do you guys all know each other?
No.
You don't.
There's only a few videographers and photographers that I know. It's like a close knit family of this one's sitting across from me. Like they're in Arizona, it's not really competitive, but you go out to shows and you'll see the same 6-7 people there all the time. So you start knowing how they shoot. You go on their Instagram, you see how they did and how their stuff looks, and it's a certain amount of people. Here today at this festival, I ran into a couple people that I don't really personally know, but they came up to me, said hi. One guy that came out and said hey to me, which I've been a huge fan of his work forever, is Rafa. He does Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay.
And I mean, I've looked up to his work for 10 years, I want to say.
Do you tell him that when you see him?
Oh, I saw him and I was like, your stuff's amazing. I've looked up to your work forever, and we just had a little conversation.
Was he
awesome.
stoked about it?
Yeah, he
That's
was.
great.
It's always nice when people come up to me and they're like, oh yeah, I really like your work. It's like, thanks.
That's
you
awesome.
actually give a
Sweet.
shit.
Yeah.
So
You've been digging.
Exactly.
Yeah, my first taste of it was Duran Duran. So I interviewed them backstage at a festival, and they said, "Hey, you can come down in the pit and take some photos for your promotion of the podcast and all that stuff."
Mm-hmm.
It was exactly like you said. There was about 6 or 7 people. They kind of knew each other, weren't really friendly with each other. Stayed for 2 songs,
and then
shot,
took off.
and then they bounced.
Yep.
And it was
'Cause
just like,
mostly it's first 3 songs,
okay.
depending on artists. I know I've heard Marilyn Manson, I believe, is 1 song sometimes. Basically,
Really?
shoot as fast as you can. Some bands give you 30 seconds. First song, 30 seconds, then you're kicked out of the pit.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that? Let me ask you that. I was always curious, but like
The first 3 song rule that I've come to learn is you should be able to get decent shots within
Everything that
3
you're gonna
songs.
need.
Exactly.
gotcha.
Unless there's massive set changes and big production, you're going to get the same shit.
And is the
throughout the whole
band
set.
bothered by it? Is that why they say three
Some
three
bands
song
are.
rule?
I think
Gotcha.
it's more of people come, they pay to see these awesome bands that they love, and they don't want to see a bunch of photographers standing in their way.
Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense.
I see it.
I never really thought about that.
I
You're
stand
right.
in people's way all the time, but I try to duck and with asking, I'll shoot the whole set because I'm shooting photo and video at the same time.
Sure.
So with them, hello.
How can we help you?
With them, I'll shoot photo, video, and I'm running back and forth, and I'll see the photographers in the pit. They'll leave, and then I'm still out there shooting.
Gotcha.
And I'll go on stage, off stage, in the crowd, in the pit. A lot of the times I'll take my camera, my video camera, and I'll stand right in the mosh pit.
Okay.
Because it's like certain angles like that, again, that's
Which
what
is
makes
chaos.
it unique. It's chaos, but it makes it unique.
Have you ever gotten hurt?
No. There's always 2 people that are super cool that see a camera in a pit, and they'll make like a little barrier. And I'm like, thanks, guys. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then there's that asshole that tries to hit the camera, and they take him down.
So what's your end game in photography? What is your what's the pinnacle where you're like, man, I can't do any better than this?
I would like to have photographers and videographers under me. Like, I would like to make a full company out of
team.
this
Yeah.
where I'm out with my boys and asking. I love these guys. But then I have a photographer where I'm getting paid enough, and I have a company that I can contract. Okay, I trust this guy enough. I want to send him out with, say, Seven Dust. They're looking for somebody, and I get word that they're looking for a really good photographer. I can send a friend of mine that's a great photographer out with Seven Dust. And I have a little network of people that's under SP Media that can work for me.
Right.
And it's like I have my own little company, and then it can grow from there where I can add on a graphics guy. I can add on my buddy Dom. He's an amazing web guy. And it's like I can have everything, so it's a one-stop shop for bands. Oh, your band needs a new website. Your band needs new promos. Your band needs a music video. Come to my company. I have everybody contracted. I can get
Sure.
it done. And that's, I think, my full end game is to be a one-stop shop that has people that I can contract out.
Well, look, it makes sense, and I know the band speaks highly of you.
Really?
Now,
That's swell.
where can everybody see your stuff and
Uh,
your work?
90%
Instagram. Where can people tag
yeah.
you on Instagram? Yeah.
All right, it's Sanjay Parikh Media. I should probably spell that
Yeah.
out. Oh, no, Sanjay Parikh Photo.
Is there an
Sanjay
H in Parikh?
Photo.
Yes,
Yes,
it's
there is.
SanjayParikh Photo.
Awesome.
Solid.
Solid.
Hey, dude, we're happy we got to get insight on
Yeah,
this.
thank you.
Absolutely.
This
It's
is
a
fun.
fascinating field. A lot of people ask us about it. Jared Taylor, thank you for having me on Launch Code. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ross. And,
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
This was
you
great.
know, thank Asking for letting us use their bus for the show. And Sanjay, we were happy to have you
I'm
a part of Launch
happy
Code.
to be
Absolutely.
here.
And if anybody is seeing any Asking Alexandria photos and or video, Mr. Parikh did it himself. So,
Yes, I did.
he is exclusive to them. Thanks for being on.
Thank you.